Your safety, your responsibility. Do not leave home without a mask. Call or WhatsApp Latoya at 876-569-3390 to choose from a variety of designs. Get your mask today. Latoya's way.
Good evening, everybody. Or good morning to some, good afternoon to some, wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon, morning, or good evening to you. Welcome to another episode of Mek Wi Chat. As you know, it is an unscripted moment where we just get to sit and to virtually connect with the guest and just get to talk to them and getting to know them. Right. I am Ryan, as you know, one of the hosts, and of course, I have Larry with me all the way over there in the country. Well, go on, Sir Larry.
Yes, man, we are here, you know. When it's a we just me alone, you know.
Definitely. We're expecting to have Sugar with us. Sugar is having a little delayed, so it's a problem connecting. So we are hoping to get him as soon as possible. And of course, I have our guest. We call him Timmy. His name is Evangelist Timmy Grant from the Pilgrim Church of God, and that is in Williamsfield, all the way in St. Catherine. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Blessings, family, blessings.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Thank you for joining us and Mek Wi Chat this evening. All right. So just before I we begin our discussion, right? I just want to big up our viewers. Our faithful viewers. You have been such a lovely audience over the past weeks. We appreciate what you've been doing. All right. So as you know, we ask that you go ahead and start to share the video, start to watch host, or whichever technique you normally use at this time. We invite you to do so. We are going to be talking with this man of God, and we're just going to sit back. As I say, we are relaxed. We are just going to talk and just get to know our guest and thing. And of course, Larry and hopefully Sugar, we get Sugar as soon as possible, will be guiding this procedure. All right, so Timmy, Sir Timmy. As usual,
Yes, sir.
we want to get to know who is Timmy. So if I should ask you to describe yourself, how would you describe yourself to the viewers?
Well, it's easy, I'm Timmy Grant. My father is Vivian Grant. My mother is Isilda Grant. And I am short in stature. And I'm a man of God. That's simple. I'm
Okay.
married to a lovely wife. Her name is Valerie McClarty. And I have two powerful sons. That's who am I.
Okay. So what about siblings? Any siblings there?
That's what I say. I say I have a lovely wife. Her name is Valerie McClarty. And two sons. Two
Oh,
powerful sons.
so no
That's it.
no brothers and
That's
sisters?
Yeah, I have six brothers. It's a lot, a big family, Six
Yeah,
brothers
yeah, left out
and
apart them my
six
youth.
brothers and six brothers and six sisters.
What? Mommy and daddy go on with things,
Yes,
man.
that-
A, is it what? A
yes,
disciple thing or what?
boy. In the happy time, happy time.
Ah, all right. So that is Timmy. Timmy comes from a big family, as we call it here in Jamaica. All right, Timmy. So as we say, um, you are an evangelist. But before we get to that part of your life, all right, we want to ask you what it is or what was it like for you, your childhood days growing up in the country, and which country it was, if you don't mind sharing with viewers.
Well, growing up as a small child coming up, I was born in Williamsfield. There's a district called Cocoa Walk in St. Catherine. I was grown, I wouldn't say rough, but I was grown as um, total country people who grows in the country. We go to bush, tie out goat, feed pigs, chicken, like that. You have to do all these chores before you go to school. I was grown to have respect. I was rude, so I grow with a lot. I get a lot of beating when I was growing up, plenty beating. My mother was about, well, my mother and father died. My brother was about 250, 300 in that region. And when my mother beating you, know, nobody fast like her, brother. Merlin nothing can run like my mother, brethren. So this is cheap, you don't worry run. You just stand and take your beating and that's it. But I was grown to be a respectable. We were grown to be respectable in our community and to others. When I was growing up, you see an adult on the street or wherever, you have to say morning all 4 times you pass that person, brethren. And if you don't say morning, it's problem. Those the way I grow at school. When I was going to school, when I get correction, better I take my correction and don't not even make my mother know that I was corrected because she would give you a next
Correction.
score of beating. So yes, so we were going in this way to we well when I was growing up I say it is murder or I say it was they don't love me. But we were grown after we grown now we realize they loved us and that's the way they use to show grooming and to show how much they want you to be a good person in the world of tomorrow. Yeah, so it was like that, that
Okay.
that we were growing that way.
All right. Cool. Larry, since we're on this basic part.
Sir Timmy, man, greetings.
Yes, blessing, prophet.
Anyway, what are some lessons that you'd have learned as a youngster growing up that still live with you today? Some of the lessons are may have helped you.
Ah, lessons is respect, honesty, and cleanliness. Yeah, because you were you were taught to have respect and was beaten to have respect. Yeah, cleanliness. You were taught cleanliness, and we were beaten to be cleansed. You know, my mother no want. She used to call it nasty. She don't want no nasty. I don't grow no nasty children. So you have to learn from, and you will learn to the fear of God, because my parents were real stalwart for God, and I grew in a Christian environment with all my sisters and brothers are Christians. So we were taught when it come to a Sunday, but you have to ensure say you out of the house to Sunday school before mommy ready, because if she see you in the house when she's getting ready, no problem. So we were taught these things that no matter what, God come first. We must put him first, and for to be successful, progressive, and prosperous, we have to have the fear of God. So we were taught and these things, but thought is one, but we were forced to be at this age because you didn't have a choice. You know, it's not
You were,
like it's not like you
so,
could
so
do
you were
ads.
different way.
Yes. If you even have a different intention, when you are in mommy's home, you have to go by what mommy and daddy say. So we were taught, oh, to respect each other, to respect yourself and respect God.
It sounded like mommy was a disciplinarian in terms of the whip.
Yes, mommy was the whip lady. My father beat, but listen how he beat now. You do wrong for a week, and then he sum you up. And then if you do it one more time, he give you a week beating. By my mama, he give you a minute beating. so,
So
as can't to her, no, brother, as you slip your slide, that's her motto. If you slip your slide, so you will learn to be in the right way as gone to what her uh right way is, So that's it. Her right way is a whipping a virgin. So you will learn to be in the right way. So that's how I grow. Yeah. And
alright.
again, I'm the smallest one for all these 12, 11, well, 12 of us, 11, I'm the smallest one. So all my bigger brothers and sisters, they leave the home from they were elderly. So, but when I'm there, man, oh God, have mercy. Beaten for me. But because I was rude, man. So beaten wasn't a no, no, it was a yes, yes for me.
Uh, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's all like a typical country growing up,
Yes,
Discipline
man.
is done with the whip.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
And so you say boy, mommy was the minute beater. Daddy was the
Yes.
weekly one. Daddy do a summary and say if you
Summary.
deserve it,
Summary.
then give a beat upon the
They get,
week.
they can't get beaten every day then, because if they get beaten immediately,
Yes, man. Every day, man. Every day.
they get that
Brother, I
summary.
love to fight. Yeah, man. I love to fight. And I get beaten to fight now and then as I finish get beaten, the person who complain, I fight again. So that's why I get beaten regular, man. Yeah, man.
Okay, okay. All right. So thanks for sharing that. All right. So now that we know that Timmy was a troublemaker, and of course you were checked to be disciplined by both parents. Now, what was it like since you love to fight? What was a typical school day like for you? Just any example, whether it be primary or high school. What was it like? You make it through a school you don't
Well,
fight in, sir?
yes, I make it to a day without fighting, but not a week. Not a week.
Any
because
moment, any moment stood
I,
out?
you see, yeah, man. Because you see, because I grow like this with muscular, you know. So even if you don't trouble me, you trouble my friend. I fight for my friend. So that's
Oh,
oh, that's I always get involved. I don't want to know who wrong from who right. So long as it's my friend, yes, I defend my friend. So that's how I get in trouble. So I remember once when I was in school because I was such a troublemaker. This girl, well, you normally rostered to sweep the classrooms after classes. After school, you are asked to sweep the classroom. Boys move the decks, girls sweep the classroom like that. So I remember once this girl lost a foot of her shoes, and then somebody tell her that it's me, but it wasn't me. She came and tell, well, my mother, she don't ask question from you. Says Timmy, hey, don't you do little brother. So she went and tell my mommy that it is me. And no matter what I explain to mommy, she don't want to hear nothing from shut your mouth, boy. I don't want to hear nothing from you. And I get a beating on a virgin. And I say, okay, well, I know it's not me and I get a beating for this. Well, when I go to school, me and you. well, when I went to school now, man, I couldn't fight because when I planned to fight, my father he came to the school and asked question and then that was a problem now. My father if he come to school, brother, he's gonna beat me in front of the whole school, virgin. So that was when I get fear.
Mm.
So when he came there and then the girl find her shoes and she said it was somewhere else and I said, oh, all right. My father said, okay, well you owe an apology. Well, they say sorry. Well, I didn't take that sorry, brother. Well, my father leave, man. Oh God, that girl feel it, man. So I these were some moments when some time ago, about 5, 6 years ago, yeah, I was in Crossroad and I saw the lady. When I saw her, man, she was such a virgin, and I said, "Oh God, what if, what if this girl remember what I did to her?" I, I didn't remember her enough.
Mm.
And she come over and said, "Timmy Grant, is that you, brother?" When I look and see her virgin, I tell you, I begin to tremble, man. I said, "You don't remember me?" I said, "I remember, I said, "No, who you is again?" "Timmy Grant, you don't remember me?" I said, "No." Try remind me, man. "You remember how you beat me up?" Brother, you just imagine how I feel, Bridget. That time, this lady in her army uniform and there with some more guys, man. And I said, "Oh, Jesus, God."
Mm,
Then I
what if
said,
what if a
"Oh,
payback
look in
time?
school days, man, and so forth." And she just laugh and then was there talking and thing. And when she leave, Bridget, oh my God, my heart went. You could see, no, my heart, the blood pumping in my heart, man. oh,
Mm.
how scared I was when I
Yeah.
see her. These are some of the memories that always, remind me and always uh, play a role in my head at all times.
Yeah, okay. That's a very interesting story. That's like a movie. Yeah, it's like a movie. I mean, but
Mm.
all right. So talk to me now, man of God. How was what was your conversion like? When people say, "Why, I was really in a dark place of sin," and then God really, 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 really save you. What was your conversion like? At what age did you give a life to God, and what was it like? Just before you answer that, let me see
All
if I
right.
can bring in sugar. Sugar, sugar, yeah, hear me?
Yeah,
Sugar,
me
yeah,
hear clear, man.
yeah, you're clear. All right. Yeah, man. One day I go and reason
Yeah,
with
man.
Timmy. Yeah, man. Welcome, welcome,
Okay.
welcome. Big up yourself. Yeah, yeah, man.
I,
I got.
I
So,
brother.
talk to us about your conversion now. What age
Well,
you met Christ.
as I said before, Christianity, church wasn't a choice for me. It was a force because my parents, my whole family are Christians, right? And as I said before, I'm the smallest one, so I have to follow the role model where they lead. Okay, so seeing my getting saved and all that, I don't know what it is to get saved, but I want to get saved. Uh, so saying that and saying this, I baptized when I was 6 because my mother is like that. She don't want no one saved in her home. Everybody have to get saved. So I say, okay. So I tell them, say, when they call, there was a convention and then they ask anybody here to who accept God. I push up my hand and then asking the bishop asks if I understand. I say, yes, yes, yes. Well, it happened that I get saved. But even though I baptized when I'm 6 months, brother, I still fight, I still do it because I didn't know definitely until when I was about 15. I really get the real understanding. Was a bishop I remember we have a convention and they came and preached the message judgment. And brother, this guy did a literal practical showing of what hell would be like. I remember he get my bigger brother to cut some banana trash and put outside of the church. And even I was there helping him, but I don't know what I was doing. And he cut the banana trash and put outside there. And when he was preaching now, he tell my brother now, say, he make signal to them to turn off the light. And they turn off the light. And he was preaching, brethren, about judgment, about all what gonna take place when God come. And brother, I get scared in my pants, boy. And then he light the fire outside, and then he start demonstrate what hell would be like. And then he get some brethren and he start to call names. And when he said, okay, your name is not here, and he push them. So when he pushed them, they're supposed to jump over the fire. Brother, I cry all week, man, because I said I don't want to go to hell, and that thing take a great hold on me. And I tell God that, God, I ask you to groom me in the way that you want me to, because I don't want to go to hell. That was the time when I really, really acknowledge what saving grace is about, what this whole Christianity is about, what hell and heaven is about. And then after that, I keep reading, and I have other mentor who grow me in the way or teach me the right way and all these things. So that was a part of my conviction to Christ.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man, that's pretty much sound like what country church is about. That's pretty much very illustrative, and the hell and judgment was holiness. Them message was really practical, and it really reached to the core. So yeah, so that's a powerful full testimony, and I am happy that that was the way God could convert you. Yeah, yeah. To some people, they say, why and get a dream or whatever, but why God have to use a practical thing to reach to a person like you. But that's good. All right. So coming up in church, what was experience like in the country church for you? You don't have to share everything. Just maybe one or two. You know.
Well, growing up in church, it was good for me. It was nice because you know what? I could sing. And because of that, Pastor love me, brother. Anywhere Pastor going in, brother Timmy, they behind her, man. She not leave brother Timmy. So I become love and famous in this because when I was small, they have to put a chair for me to stand up because remember I was short to stand up for them and down in the pew to see me singing, and that was fun for Pastor. So because of this now, she carry me always take me around with her, man. So it was fun. My mother now, because I was like Pastor right on then for you to say like that. Pastor love me. But I used to tell lie. My mother tell me, listen to me. Listen to me now. Listen to me. I say, if because I love to go with Pastor now, if you tell one more lie, you won't come out of this house and go nowhere. so so that's it. So that's it when when I'm listening to her and start to change from what I was to what I should be. So when rally program, whatever events, man, they used to call me up to sing, and then I become the youth choir leader and all these things. So um, when doing that, I become I groom to outstand or to stand in crowd in and to represent the church, and I was not afraid because they were always saying that I'm small but I'm brave and all this one. So yeah, that is just typically my country growing up Christian experience, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as I said that, it brings me to the understanding that one thing we can appreciate about church, church really build people's self-confidence and make people into some, become overcome some shyness and things. So that's good thing about church in general. Sugar, let me bring you in for your first question here before I touch back to Larry, and then we'll move on.
Yes, man, you hear me?
Yeah, man, we're here now.
Clear, clear, prophet.
Timmy, what go on?
Blessings, my brother.
Greetings. All right. You mentioned usually you tell one lie and them say, boy, you have to stay home. Question, what's the difference now with probably a senior church member will probably reprimand a junior? Like, no, we can't talk to them and now they make up them face or them now come back or them now go sing quiet. But indoors, would you do such?
Okay. All right, Sugar, you break about. I think I get the question you're asking. So he's
I
asking,
think I get your question.
yeah.
Yeah, I can like this question.
Okay.
But that question, Sugar, you think you want the answer for that question?
That's what
Yes,
I'm at.
man. That's what I
Huh?
asked.
All right. For this cause, for this cause, the parents is to be blamed without no apology. Because if you groom your child to have respect and to be disciplined, and if you used to discipline your child at home, right, that child will learn how to take discipline wherever that child goes. That child will learn that correction is the key for success. So when that child discipline wherever and report it to the parents, that parent should let that child know that she or he is wrong and not support that child in the wrong that they did. And if you support that child at any cost, even once, it causes a problem for our next correction in that child life.
Wow. Larry, let me jump back to you.
Yes, sir, Timmy. Yesterday I was kind of doing some work, and then when I was reflecting on the program tonight. But somehow I never look at your title per se as an evangelist. I never look at that. I just get the term Timmy, Timothy, and whatever. But somehow yesterday, every time I was reflecting about it, you know me the idea. I keep on saying Bishop Timmy Grant in my head.
Ah,
Yeah, man. That's what just keep on coming up. So I'm going to ask you if you have any motivation towards that side of life. So that well, you're on the path, because you're an evangelist, so you're there on the road, and that's the road, so you can't miss it.
so the right there, I can't answer the question. You answered it already.
So I say you can't miss the sign. If you're going toward the sign and you're the bishop sign, you can't miss it until because you're on the road.
Well, I don't have any dreams to become a bishop or a pastor or a minister. No dreams. I'm just, as I always said, a servant of God to do what God requires of me to do. But the leadership, I don't, mark you, I don't run from leadership. Yeah. But I don't force myself into leadership. If you understand what I'm saying. I don't,
Yeah,
I
man, I
don't,
understand.
I don't, yeah, man. There are some people who force themselves into things that they can't manage. So I'm not that type of person. If God see it fit for me to become what He want me to be, it's God's choice. if you understand. So for now, I just stick with what I what I have and just go and work with it, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, so we are working our way up because people you want to stay in line
Yeah,
because
man.
we want to get some more details in. But so being a young man come from your church and start to interact with your sisters and the brothers from different branches and stuff like that. Eventually you met your wife. Um, what was the story behind that? You know? Because it
Oh
sounds as if that
God,
your
that
church,
story,
that
brother.
your wife didn't come from
Well,
your local church, but in the denomination.
well, well, as I said before, sing. Well, I still sing. Well, um, my pastor, well, my wife, or she go with her uncle, and the uncle is the bishop for the churches. Okay, all right. Um, my pastor now, she loves to take me wherever she's going, and she's from, my wife is from this community named Azalite, that is in Upper St. Andrew. You pass Mavis Bank and go right.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Full
my
place,
pastor
man,
for
right?
my church is
Yeah,
from the same district.
a full place, you know.
All
Come here,
right.
say a full
So
place,
my
man. Go
pastor
ahead.
is from the same. All right. My pastor is from the same district. So she always with her. So when I always going around with her, meeting other young ladies and stuff. And after a while, I see Sister Grant. Her name is Sister Valerie. I saw her and brother, this lady was so nice. Look so nice. Yeah. But for me to say something is hard. But for me to look it easy. So I was there so till I don't remember what how I go about getting her address. And I get her name, full name and her address. So those time we don't have telephone. We have to write letters. And brother, I could write some letters with some heart, with some arrow running through from one end to the other end, virgin. I write some letters, 2 sheet with all tears out of my eye, and I circle it and make heart around it and all crazy stuff. But that's not the big part. The only time I get to meet her is when the church have something, because remember our uncle is a bishop, so there is no way I can take myself go up there unless it's not an occasion. So if I ever try that, it's problem. And this is how the story go now. Her her uncle uh take her to school. Well, she go three with two other girls, and she's the third one. So her uncle go take all three to school, collect back to home, take to work, back from work to home. So I have to find a way to get myself in between that, because I leave I leave St. Catherine when I was about 15 and live in town. So I couldn't find myself going to Mavis Bank during those times. I going to school and all these things. I have to find myself like in the time of work. So what I when I get to go to the church that is the headquarter church she attends. When I went there, it's fun. It's all good, nice for me to go there, man. But when remember, I used to write some wonderful letters, brother. But when I go, I can't see a word. When I see her, it's like I'm dumb, virgin. So she was like, I remember once she said to me, "Say, you all right?" I nod my head and say, "Yes, man, this man." And she write me and tell me, once she write and said, "What happened?" I said, "Nothing." "So why you don't talk?" I said, "Boy." It wasn't the talking time, you know. I could say I don't know what to say. All right.
First word I
So
beat you, man.
the brother. So the part what nice now. I used to do our uncle grows animal, grows pig. So I said, listen now, how am I gonna get in this? Because you have to wait until rally time, convention time, program time, and this time is just one time in the year. These things happen. You understand? So I said, no, sir, I can't wait so long because I cannot go there without no reason. I cannot go in the community without no reason. So I learned agriculture and I went and did agriculture. Now I go as far as to pre-vet. So there and then now the uncle knows and he want me to come now and vaccine pigs and that. I tell him and he want me to come and vaccine the pigs and so forth. I feel good, man.
Yeah, man. One
Now I
foot
can
in
go
now.
without. Yes, man. So, but brother, even though you're going a virgin, he's a man that grow his children away in a virgin. Yeah, yeah. So when I go now, I have to hide and talk to Sister Grant, and then when he come, I run back to do what I'm doing, those way. But it was good for me because I get to see her. If it's even to see her more regular, so he was. It was like that. It was like a a game thing. I remember once I was there, and I went up there and I was there talking to her. She live the house is on a hill, so I stand where I can see where cause he drives coming up, and I was looking to see when the ride coming up because that's the only house on the hill. And once I was there talking to Sister Valerie, man. When I look, I see a light coming up, brother. I run around the house. Remember, I'm from St. Catherine, live in Spanish Town. I can't leave Mavis Bank in that hours a night and go back to. But it's just, I have some friends that was living in the community. But I can't make Bishop see me. Because the first thing is like, brother, what you doing here? What you doing up here? Like, that's the way he talk. So I run up the hill, brother, and I hold on the fence when I hold on this barbed wire, barbed wire, virgin. And
Yeah, yeah, man.
although I get the joke, I still have to take the joke, man, because he drive up in there and I don't want him to see me. And I went by my friend house and I sleep, I come down. But Sister Grant go in the house. I don't see her until the next day or two, I think, after. Sister Grant said, oh, you make out. I said, oh, Jesus have mercy. I could I could die and now you're asking me, oh, I make out. But those, it was fun. I get to I get to know how what I would say to respect elderly and to know the measures to take because now dating is a different thing. Your mother and father sit there and your past mother and father at the door and gone inside the room and all these things. A different setting. We in those days you grow to respect. And again, you couldn't tell nobody that you're dating as a Christian. It's a big problem. And you're not married and you're not getting married. So I don't know which to describe myself doing this or tell somebody that I have a girlfriend. I can't do that because you're a Christian. You're not allowed to be like that. That's how you grow in the country. You can't be dating and all these things. So we just talk and laugh, and then I feel good in myself just seeing her and talk and that until once I said to her, she said, what you up to? What you up to, man? You're not talking to me. What you up to? I said, you know what? But I like to get married. And she said, well, does you know what to do? I was working and she was working. So I said, okay, I'll go and talk to Bishop. Well, knowing me, Bishop love me, because he can call me and I do all these work for him, man. I go and vaccine the pigs and I go and he know me that good. So there's no in his mind. I'm a good as can to what I think to myself. I'm a good guy. So when I ask him, before I asked him, I asked her family, our mother and father, and they agree. Well, I asked him, no, that was a problem for me to ask him. Oh my God, it was so hard to ask him, man, because knowing the bishop and you don't know how to approach in this way. Well, I brave up and I asked. He said, well, if it's so, you know what to do. And I said, okay. So he said, what's your plan? And I tell him what my plan was. And he said, okay, well, you need to come and meet me and my wife and then we'll talk. Like an engagement part away. I say if I'm you don't want to see nobody to see us, no we're talking, and then it's gonna be a problem on him as a bishop and on the church. So it's best we just engage, and then if they saw us, it will be notified that we are engaged. I say okay, no problem. But this is the part now because as I said before, he take his children to work to school, and he's the one who take them back home. So when I went there with my brother and I went up and then he told me, okay, you can come in and we sat and we talk. And then he agreed. The last three question he said, but Timmy, can I ask you a question? I said, yes, Bishop. How long you and Valerie are friend? Well, it was about 12 to 15 years, About 8 to 12 years, like that, yeah. And I said, Bishop, with my brave self now, no, because I already say yes, 12 years, sir. Huh? 12 years? So where you was 12 years? I said, Bishop, how comes? I look at my wife and say, who comes? Boy, he was so upset. Well, then I tell him, we were talking, we write letters and so forth. He said, man, if I have one more daughter to marry, if I did know like this, you think I would say yes? 12 years? That means you're married already? so, so,
Yeah.
so it was, yeah, man. So it was like that. And I tell you, I'm, after that we get married and I'm so glad for this beautiful angel God put in my life, man. This is a gift from God. I have no regret. Sugar, I would marry five more time if it is sister grand. And like in those days when you could marry and have five wife in your house, all would be sister grand. That's how much I love this lady, man. Yes, man. She's a real mother. She's a real, real person. That's my wife, man. My love.
Definitely. Sugar, we bring you in pan that question, yeah.
Yes, so I two man that did not two, not three, but 5 times. But question, my question, going to school is to get sister grant. Sister Valerie at the time.
Go again, Sugar, when you get that.
No, I'm saying that I'm go to the vet school.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the vet school and a really animal you're really in love with, but with Sister
No,
Valerie.
no, 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 no. It wasn't
Valerie
about
the
the
one get
animal at all.
Just
Yes, it
just
wasn't
just get that
about the
foot in.
animal, not all. It's just because, well, my father grew as a farm. I go and he was encouraging me to go to art to learn agriculture and stuff. And then um, I wasn't interested. But until I realized that the bishop grow pigs as well, and he grow coffee.
Yeah.
So I said, well, this is the right time for me to just tell daddy yes, this is the right timing. So that's the reason why, because as I said before, only on occasions like rally, harvest, program, convention, like those times, I get to see Sister Grant. and those was one time in the year. You understand? And it wasn't good enough for me. And again, the bishop, it was a bishop home she lived. So we couldn't be sitting our thing talking about going for lunch or for dinner or watching movie. We couldn't do that because the bishop, as I said, she has to go on the vehicle to go home after work and all these things. So I have to try a way to get myself in, brother. And I see that
So,
loophole, so I just make make use of
so,
that opportunity,
so
Virgin.
what if it never work? How you manage?
Well, well, I don't know, no, Virgin. I just planned and it work out. I
Larry,
don't know.
we bring in Larry.
Yeah, Bishop. Is it Mr. Bishop? Yeah, no,
Oh,
Bishop.
no problem.
um, what would you they said wedding is maybe for a day or maybe a couple of hours, but marriage is for a lifetime. What would you say are some of the keys to a successful marriage?
Wow, wow. All right. It is said. I think before I answer this one, it is said that um, all of us have been taught, yeah, Jamaica, and I don't know, I wouldn't say in the world, Jamaica, that marriage have teeth, right? I think I hear that before.
Yeah, yeah.
But although marriage have teeth, my thought is God is a dentist. So in whatever way it gets sharp, in whatever way it tends to get hard, in whatever way it tends to get tough or rough, there always a way out where God will allow you to overcome. All right, that is the first part. The second part is a marriage, a good marriage. Yeah, it base, and I would like most of these who are married to sign in that they can hear this. I have been married for about 20, more than 20 years. Okay. And every day, I love my wife as if the first day we met. If you know me and know my wife, we are like children when you see us. Reason for this, I'm not saying that we don't have bad times because no two same person are living together. Even if you are a twin, you must have your ups and downs. But in a marriage, in a good marriage, you have to have trust, you have to have real love, you have to have a listening ear, you have come, and for these to work, there is nobody can allow these to work on their own. For these to work, you have to have God in your marriage. And don't think you are so loving or you are that romantic that your marriage can be successful without God. You are wrong. So I'm saying to all that a woman needs somebody to listen to. All right, you see, uh, we as man, yeah, yeah, we as man are like earthly God to our wife. All right, silence. Why you say that to me? Because a wife looks to you for protection. He looks to a man for provision. He looks to a man for a listening ear. He wants a man to be there to comfort her. And the same way a man wants from a lady. And first and the most things a man would like, or a woman would like, the man to love she or him alone. Right. So these characteristic, these things is the same thing God wants from us. That's why I say we are like a earthly God to our spouse. God wants you to be to love Him only. God wants you to let Him be your only comfort, your only source of help. He wants you to allow you to remember that He have a listening ears for you. He want to let you know that He's always there for you. So for us to have a successful marriage, only, I repeat, only God can allow us and allow our marriage to be successful, prosperous, and productive. Because these requirements is not easy. Yeah, these requirements are not easy to maintain. So only the Almighty God can help you. Because listen, there are, I sure every married person can tell you. I'm sure that sometimes in their life they're saying, what am I doing? Why am I married? You get me? But it's only God can show you the reason why. He's the only person can comfort you and guide you how to be a good husband. Because you yourself can't be a good husband, brother, without God involved. None of us are that capable as a man to be a good role model or a good husband to our spouse or to our family without God involved. So my answer to that question is for us to be successful and to have a productive marriage, it's only God have to be the first, the second, the third, and the last in our marriage.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Good, good,
Yeah,
good.
man. Yeah, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing those principles and philosophies. All right. And the the meat of matter of marriage. Let me dissect into. It is good that you have two boys. How is it as a parent, and especially from a man's perspective, growing boys in the 21st century here? Um, I am sure beating alone can't work. It might have worked for you then, but how is it growing boys in this time, 21st century?
Uh, it's what I wouldn't say easy, but as I said again, with God, all things possible. Yeah. Well, I always use God because that's the way I grow. Huh? All right. For your child, for my sons to be what they are, who know my sons, for them to be what they are, it takes me to be a role model in their life, to have a listening ears to them, to be there for them, to understand them, and to come to their level of understanding and to work within the measures of their, what I would say, of their level of ability. Okay. Uh Me as a father, I have to stand as a daddy, as a father, as a man in their life. So it's no means for me to beat them and to correct them and doing the wrong. And there is no way of me saying to them, do this. That's the way you're supposed to do that. That's the way you're supposed to talk. And I'm not playing that figure in their life. They have to see it in me first. And again, because of the way I ask God to allow me to be the person who He want me to be, and to be a father, and to be a good father, that they can even see that what I'm saying is correct. Because, for example, my boys, all right, uh, when it's like prayer time, I has to be there as a man to tell, let us pray. Come in the room and pray. Not only wait on my wife to say, let us pray. They want to see me as a man to stand and say, it's time, prayer time. For me, not only my wife to get up in the morning and look about breakfast for them. They want to see me playing a role like that in their life. Not only my wife to go to school for various occasion for them to represent the parent. I go as well. I do these things to let them see that example in me. I I I I be there for them. I whatever they do wrong, I call them. I say, listen to me. This is the right way. This is the wrong way. Choose which one you want. You understand? And I tell them, listen, if I choose that way, I wouldn't be what I am now. I try to come to their level. The first thing we have to understand, brothers, that we were children. That's what I use. I always use this. When I was their age, I used to do the same thing, and probably worse. But my way of getting correction, I don't want to correct them in that way. I try to correct them in a way where we can have a understanding of, we can talk, and then we understand each other. If I'll talk to them, mark you, when I talk to them, they cry and all this because I make sure that they understand, not say I'm a man, but they understand where I'm coming from. That this is wrong, and I mean I don't want to see it happen again. You understand me? So they know definitely. Say I will say, listen, if you ever do this again, brother, I will slap you one thump. You understand me? I will tell them like this. I say, listen, I will shake you up, but I want them to understand that we are not for as a slave driver over them. We are a supportive measure for them. That mean I tell my children, I tell them like this: listen, whatever you do now, you are getting it free.
Mm.
So make use of it. So after this freedom is passed, you have to pay for it. So listen, if it is your choice to lose this freedom and pay for it tomorrow, well, go ahead. But for me, I would use wisdom and use up this freedom, because you ain't gonna find your school fee, your lunch money, all these things. You only have to do is to just obedient and go to school and do your work and do it to the best of your ability. Nothing more. We do all of the financial part. You understand? I told them, listen, if you don't respect yourself, there is no way you can respect others. I have two sons. One is 19 and the other one is like 14. I tell the big one, you are adult. From he was growing up, because um I know you don't want to ask questions. Sometimes I'm not in Jamaica with my kids. So the big one, I tell him that he is the man of the house from he was growing up. And I tell him, whatever you do, your brother will take role of what you're doing and want to become what you are. And if you do wrong, he will do wrong. And there's no way that you do wrong and he do wrong and you correct him. I will mash you up, brother. You have to stand up and do good. And then he will look at you. And if he's doing wrong, you can correct him. So you cannot stay in your wrongness and correct him in his wrongness. I grow them like this. So I tell him all the while. If you notice, who know my two sons, the bigger one always stand as a father figure. He always stand as a man, because what happened? I grow them like this. I tell him, you must be there for your brother as a father, as a man. You must come to me to correct him. I correct you.
Mm.
What I'll do, is that there's a trick in what I used to do. Whatever wrong my small son do, I correct the big one. Because I tell him, you should see what the small one is doing and correct him before I see it. So because of this now, he doesn't want me to correct both of them. So I tell him, listen, you need to be a role model in your small brother's life. And they're doing that he's doing wrong. But if you are not a role model, you cannot correct him. So I tell him, just watch me. Whatever you see me do, follow me. So what my job is to be a good example. That's what I told my big son. I say, listen, we have a ladder that we're gonna climb. We have a trend that we're gonna follow. We have a model that we're gonna follow. Your small brother pattern you. You pattern me. So if I do wrong, you do wrong. Your brother's gonna do wrong. So if you see me not doing wrong, that means you're not supposed to do wrong. You're gonna we have that circle within the three of us in the home. So I make sure always ask God to help me to stand as a father because they are watching me. You understand? They watch me and we ask questions. There's no question that they don't ask me that I don't answer. Any question. And that's it. Some of us as father we tends to instill the negative in our kids and not the positive. They are easier. It's easy. It's easy to tell your son to go buy a cigarette, but it's hard to sit your son and say, "Let's read Bible." Yeah, it's easy for a father to tell his son a bad word, but it's hard to call your son or your child and tell them how to be respected or respectable and to be manageable in their life, in their community, in the home, and wherever they go. So what I try my best to do is to live a example life before them and tell the big one, follow me. And then the little one, follow the big one. So that's how I grow them, my brother.
Huh. Yeah, man. So like you can write a parenting book, man. Yes, Larry. Eh?
Yeah, man. Those are excellent advice, man. Excellent advice give to our viewers and even ourselves online here. How to really grow children, not only boys, but children that be having and listening here, because sometimes that's where the missing agent is. Nobody listens. You just react. You have to react, and then you create an impression that will last in the mind. Point,
Definitely. Definitely.
30 man.
All right. Now, interestingly, you made that statement, which was where I think we were heading to next. That you are pretty much not in Jamaica most of the time, because of your work, your work schedule and stuff like that. So you work um, in around the world, around different countries and stuff like that. Um, how do we approach this question now?
Ask
Sugar,
it, man.
Sugar Larry, only help me. How me go into this a question? Um, all right. My understanding is that you work with one of those cruise company, right? And so the nature has you away from your family from Jamaica a lot. Um, what it is like for you as a man and a Christian being away from your wife for several months, sometimes maybe like half of the year, stuff like that. I mean, not talk about just missing her, but how do you um, keep strong as a man and to ensure that why you know even though you're not there physically you're not still missing. If you know what I mean.
All right. The answer for this question now, Mr. Larry. See all at your face. Sit ready to hear. Um,
Comfort zone.
as I said
Comfort zone.
before, I am married for more than 20 years, right? And I'm gonna say it more difficult now for some listeners. For the 20 years that I'm married, right? I never spent like 3 years straight with my family. Yeah, I always travel up, down, up, down. The reason for this is my job description. Now, uh, as your question leads to the cruise line, I work with the cruise line, and I spend like out of a year, I spend like 3 months in Jamaica with my family. All right, quest mouth open now. How does yours? How does this work? How this long part relationship work? The answer is only God can make it work. First thing, it's not easy for every one of us that are listening or watching to do what I did. You have to have understanding, trustworthy description word. I put all of them together. You have to have a wife with all these characteristics. A wife who love God, a wife who trust God
Understanding.
and trust herself. Well, for your wife to have these characteristics that you want, you, the man, have to ask God to allow you to portray the same characteristics which is in the wife. Um, for me, some things I use, some natural little things I use, is I associate myself with adults, and these some of these adults, well, I say all these others are like prayer warriors for me. They are the strength. They are my backbone. They always been there for me, my wife, my family. But even though that, we have to play a role in which I have a every day, sometimes 2, 3 times a day. I call my wife. I call my family. I have that ensure. I set myself with a schedule that then before the day done, I have to hear my family voice. We have to sit and talk, and we just talk anything. So it's like I am there and I'm not there. For me to withstand and for she both of us to withstand temptation is only God. First, to remember that we are human beings, and sometimes the flesh is more than all you can bear. But God, as I said, is always there to help you if you allow Him to. Yeah. Well, I been around the world. I get to meet thousands, millions of different people, right, from different countries. All right. In saying that, there are different times that you are in spot where in which whenever you see a lady, for example, for me, when I see a lady dressed in certain garments, yeah, I imagine my wife in the same, and that's what I use. Those are some of the tips I use. I say, oh, my wife would look in those things. So I go on Google, I go in the stores, and I try get them and take them home for like that. I call, as I said, I call regular. We praise together on the phone for each other. We sometimes, based on the timing wherever in the world I am, the timing and Jamaica timing is not correspond. So we leave prayer on the WhatsApp for each other. We do these things. The son, my children, I check up on them each day. I call, I ask what's going on. How was your day? What and what? And I play just as if I was home. If they do something wrong, and my wife would tell me, okay, my son one, the small one, is not behaving, or this big one not. I said, put him on the phone, and I talk to him just as if I'm there. Listen, man, I don't need you to be there giving mommy no hard time. Listen, and I tell you, it works. Even when I talk to my son, Prophet,
Mm.
um, and my they start crying. They start, sometimes when I talk, my wife would say to me, Daddy, why, what you say? I said, with what? You tell me that small one not behaving, no? But what you did say, see him on there crying. I said, well, been crying, I said something to him. I like, she said, I tell you, don't talk so loud, so hard to him. Well, that's what I have to use because I'm not there. My wife is as well. She's different, man. She might use a whip, but I use voice. So that's the difference. So when I'm in my whatever situation, my wife is my friend.
Mm.
My wife is my friend. So when I say my friend, I mean my friend. You understand me? Well, what I could say, how I would put it. I have no my wife. There is nothing, absolutely nothing we don't share together.
Mm.
Because I have to make this this road open, where in which I can get a level of, because Bridget, you have to trust your wife, yeah, and to trust your wife, as I said before, we are like God before our family, before our wife, as a man, and the same trust that you want your wife to trust you, you have to trust her
Mm.
the same way. All right, can I say it better? The same way you don't want your wife to cheat on you, the same way don't cheat on her. The same feelings she have, same feelings you have. So if you put yourself in that mind frame as married people, it's not have to be away from car Jamaica, even home, because some of the mothers and the fathers, some of the wife or the husband don't work in the same location. They work different parts, and because of their level of jealousy causes um, home to break up, and want to hang themselves and want to do this and want to do that. But listen, in in everything I tell you, you have to put God first. And as I said before, I couldn't keep myself, and I can't keep myself. She can't keep herself. Only God. But even said with, we have to play a role. If I'm in, for example, if I'm in Jamaica and my wife and I is coming from anywhere, somebody call her and said, Valerie, what? Her name is Valerie. Valerie, how are you? And stop talking. Stop and they're talking. Hey, you know what I do? I go down the street, I stand up and I wait until they finish. Then they come. Because you know what? My mind said, listen, it's not me alone know her. There's no way you alone know your wife.
Mm.
She used to go to school before and people grow up. She grew in a different district, community, environment before. She meet male before. You understand me? So it's not about you alone and then you start questioning. No, you leave those things, man. Because listen, you see, my father always teach me, why you don't know no hurt you. So you don't dig up them, bother going on a negative. Because if you start to think negative about her, or it is about you, you understand? So you have to have that space. You have to give her space, as they said.
Mm.
You have to be there always for your wife. You see, when she called me and said, "Daddy, I have a bad day today," no matter how busy I am, I stand and I sit and I whatever, I listen, and she tell me, and then we talk. Daddy, my head is hurting me, or babes, my head is hurting me, or whatever. I sit and we talk. We listen. because some of us we don't have the time to listen to wife. And I don't have time for our wife, but we have more time for our spouse. Yes,
Mm.
problem that now. Because yes, listen, you see, if you don't put God in the space, there is a space for your wife and there's a space for God. And if you don't put God in that space, somebody else gonna fill that space. So in a marriage, there is your wife, you, and God. And the space where God is supposed to be, if you don't put God in that seat, I'm sure you're gonna look for some. Cause that seat have to full. You have to put somebody in that seat, brother. Cause that seat is a seat where you're gonna talk to somebody. You're gonna want somebody apart from your wife to listen to. You ever want somebody apart from your wife to laugh with or to communicate with in whatever way you are stressed and going under problem, you're gonna want somebody. So if you don't put God in that seat, virgin, you're gonna find yourself in big problem. So this is a problem in which causing problem in marriage. You see, if you talk to all of 99.9% of these men and women that their marriage has been messed up because of cheating, they would tell you that the person that they cheat with is always been there for them,
Mm.
is always have a listening ears for them. So that's the seat has to full. It always empty if you don't put God in that seat. And if you don't find God put in that seat, you will choose and choose and choose until you get problem. There and then you find yourself in big problem. So for me, uh, uh, um, I I always ask God to teach me how to love, how to be a good husband, And my wife, I tell you, this lady, man, I love this lady so much. Virgin, check it. You have a wife with two sons, yeah. You live in your wife for so many years, going to work overseas. You know how many of my friends and how many people I know when they return, even before they return home in problem.
Mm.
So if it is not God, who gonna keep my wife in subjection, under subjection? Who? Nobody. Not even she. Only God. Who gonna keep me? Who gonna keep me? Because temptation is reality, no virgin. Nobody take this thing is a fake thing. Temptation is a reality. So if you try to hide from temptation, no matter where you hide, it's gonna find you, no virgin. Temptation is a reality. So for you to overcome your tempter and to overcome temptation, you have to have God.
Mm.
Valid point, preacher. Valid point, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. All right, so
Very,
so
very
so
valid.
so talk to us, man of God. As we're wrapping up, viewers will come to the end, and we apologize once more for the late start. But talk to us now, man of God. Being on the cruise line, and the pandemic started, COVID came in. I mean, while we hear some things here from Jamaica, you know, people say, boy, seem as if boy, them stranded away from their country, and boy, it feel as if boy them want to give up and then just can't manage this thing. Now, just give us a overview. I might cannot go in detail. Let's give a overview of what it was like being aboard when the reality of COVID seemingly existed. um, what was the experience like, and how did you, well, when was God keep you still, for keep your mind in thing, but how did you manage to stay afloat overall, until you get back to Jamaica. And when you arrive back in Jamaica, what was that experience like? You know, boy, you back on the rock. You step off a boat and on the rock. You back on jam down. What was the experience like? So just give us an overview. So
Okay. As I said before, I work with a shipping company, a cruise company. All right. This cruise company, Royal Caribbean, is one of the best. I repeat, is one of the best company you could ever work with. All right. Um, During this COVID crisis, yeah, we were told from about the ending of January when the first instant when the case break out, we told about it, and then we had got guests cruising, and then they in February first week, I think, yeah, they tend to say, okay, that the cruise end, no more cruise. Why? Because they want the crew member to be safe. So for that reason, they kept us out in the sea because when this February crisis start build up, the borders begin to close. So again, you cannot go in some countries because their border is closed. You cannot get to go home because of the same thing, the border is closed. So they said, okay, you know what? For this reason, this purpose, we have enough food. We have what we need, yeah, to keep you here. But we didn't know it would be as long as it was. The better part of it is that at every 2 weeks, yeah, they were told to in one of the U.S. port to refill with fluid and food. So there and then you are okay with food and fluid. Uh, Whenever it built up now, and then plenty of my crew members, my fellow crew members, begin to get panic based on they gave you call home. All throughout this crisis, you have free call, you have free Wi-Fi to call all the way wherever whoever you want to talk with, right? So when they call home and they realize that this 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 COVID attack their community or their village and all these things. Some get panic, some because of 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 this now. They, they what they do is to allow, well, on the cruise ship you have different work, different people with different experience. Yeah. So they let you, some of us who are those who have experience in counseling and so forth, they group you up and let you be like a counselor. So these who are undergoing stress can come at various time at this location and be comforted in whatever era they need. Yeah. They allow you, they let you know daily. It's not like you are isolated and you don't know what is taking place in your country. But the most dangerous part of it is when you don't know when you will be going home, and you don't know who home get the coronavirus. So that is where panic begin to take place. That is where guys begin to get scared, because even some of these areas that our homes are, the communication level is down, and watching the news and hearing what is going on, and you can't get, some of them couldn't get to talk to family, close family member. They have to talk, that is home with them, they have to talk to a joining family member. They become scared and panic. But as I said before, there were trained people, personnel, who are scheduled to comfort you. They allow you to get to play games and all these things to get your mind relaxed, to let your mind forget about what is going on. But this sanitation procedure, uh, when it developed, where they tell you you have to sanitize, wash your hand, and all this one, this is a general everyday practice that we have to do on Royal Caribbean every day. It's not COVID allow us to do this practice. You have to do it because it is mandated for you to do. You have to do this one. So there are some people who doesn't understand uh, what happening on the cruise ship. Yeah. So because of this reason, they are scared because they don't want you to get home because of to come home because of they are saying that based on the matter that we are interacting with so many people from so many countries, it is that we are carrying the virus. But because of Royal Caribbean know that this was happening, like from the first, as I said, from the first last week in January to the first week in February, they stopped all cruises. So there was no more guests on board, only employees, only workers on board. So in this instance now, only we have to be isolated in we well normally you share rooms, but now you are isolated in a own personal room. So there and then sanitation, your temperature, all this one take place, checking and all that. So it is more safer, I said, on the ship than on land. And we when we want to when we said okay, well human, we want to go home, ready to go home, we want to go home. But again, you cannot go home because of the borders are closed. So when what get us scared now is because we don't know when this is gonna stop, and because people are dying so rapidly, and this thing is spreading so fast, that gets us scared of how dangerous this thing is. There was a time when one of the ship they had the virus on it because of workers that came on the ship. They transported somewhere out it get there. So we were scared in that way because we're saying, listen, no, man, this thing is getting out of hand. So and again, nobody can go home. You are announced. Sometimes they announce that you're going home next month, and then you hear that it is changed. You cannot go until the other month, and then it change again. You cannot go until. So in this instant, your mindset begin to confuse, and that's where you begin to get timid. You begin to get scared because when you call home, those that are home are telling you a story that your cousin, your sister, your brother, whoever, mommy, whoever is in the hospital, and even no one can get to visit mommy. So there and then you are in an environment where you want to go home. As I said before, we're in a safe environment. Yeah, we were safe, meaning safe. The only thing is it that we're not going to the land, but we are fed. We were take best scared of. We were um good enough to have people to communicate with in the stress period. But when you call home and then when you hear of what is going on at home, that's where the panic button begin to light up. But as I said, I thank the Prime Minister for of Jamaica to do what he did to allow us to reach home the time when we did, because um, a lot of countries, yeah, a lot of countries they didn't approve the border to open when ours were open. So I should say thanks to God and to the Prime Minister for what he did, because we could be in that batch with the other crew member from other countries who didn't who were stranded to get home because of their borders to be open, to be reopened. So it we as human beings sometimes look at the negative and stress on the negative and not on the positive. So you will hear a lot of negative coming out of this, but from my side and others, I'm well thankful for the privilege to be home and the time when I home, because even when I was home, when I reached home, I heard there are some countries that up to whenever they didn't approve of their borders to reopen. So if I am home, I have to be grateful for because I am home. I'm not in that but stranded outside. And when you're there, bro, it's like you have to you have to think, you have to have positive people around you,
Mm,
yeah, to communicate with you. Even if your team are not that positive, you have to have somebody home that can communicate with you in a positive manner. Yeah, because remember you're on water and there is no land you're seeing. So when they begin to ask some negative question, you are timid or try to positive people around you. But I thank God when I reached to Jamaica, although when I've been through this, when this lady told me, "Hey, Mr. Grant, you welcome home," I said, "Thank you, madam. I'm glad to be home." She said, "Well, you have to go in 14 quarantine." I'm on the ship for 3 months quarantine. So 14 days is good enough. And I'm gonna allow myself, you guys gonna allow me to be home where my family is. So she said, but before you have to do tests and all this. I said, no problem, my friend. That is no problem. From I'm home, standing on the earth, that is good for me. So she was laughing. But it's an experience where it's words cannot tell how you happy you are, how you feel, how stress relief it is. So what I um sum it up and tell God is just thanks. And every day I will constantly say thanks because of what could have happened and what didn't happen.
amen.
Because a lot of things could have happened, but it didn't happen. So I give Father the praise that he deserves.
Yeah, wow. There seems to be having it, people. We are wrapping up now. So as usual, I want to give Larry and Sugar their time to get in, a last question or two, before we wrap up and bring the session to a close. So we're going, Larry.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead, sugar.
Sh- sh-
Sugar, now hear me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man, go ahead.
All right. Two questions. First one is, uh, how you remain on the ship, knowing that you have your family back home, and as I said, all hell broke loose with Corona, and knowing that you are the man, and you're supposed to be the man of the house. You're supposed to be there in comforting and so forth. How you remain focused.
Okay.
Okay. Well, as I said before, is that I have a relationship with my family, which we say we talk anything and everything. So what I do, I wasn't there in body, but I was there in spirit, if you understand. I talked to her, I on the phone, we talked together, We discuss the level of distance. I discuss level of sanitation. All this. Some of the time she said, "Hey, bro, I'm doing this. I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it." But I said, "I ensure that the guys wash their hand. Let's ensure." I try to every day, two, three, four times a day. I try to have that communication line open where in which although I'm not there, but and my presence is not feel um, practically because I'm not there, but emotionally listening to me, they will feel my presence. I call the guys, I tell them, talk to them, I ensure that they understand what is going on, what is taking place, and let them know that I'm okay because that is the part where it tends to get difficult for them at times. There are questions that they ask. So I let them know that listen, I'm okay, but I want you to stay okay. So that's how I do it. I use the phone and use the social media to ensure that all is okay.
Okay, wonderful. Larry?
Now Sugar say you have two
Like him
two,
right
no?
back.
What's the next one, Sugar?
Oh,
All
sure.
right.
Hey, you never want to
Okay,
that.
next question.
Yeah.
All right. Being on the ship, knowing that have so much different nation, language. As a Jamaican, we love to speak is spokey. I would want you, because at some time you must have to put two tongue together, man, with some of the guests them. So, make we hear some right now, man.
All right, let me tell you this now, Sugar. You see, our patois, our level of
Mm-hmm.
communication, our speech, every every person in the world want to learn how to talk like us. So if you go to them and say, "Good afternoon, madam, how are you doing?" They don't like that. Well, go on, you
Mm-hmm.
cool? That's what they want.
Mm.
So they want to learn. They
Cool.
want to, what you said, and then they ask you, and then you repeat it, and each night they will say to you, "You cool? What you cool mean?" Then you explain to them like that. They don't want standard English, man.
Mm.
They want you to talk your modern language to them
Be yourself.
because
Yeah.
that's how they want you to be. Every person over anywhere I go in the world, they want to talk just like you. Hey, you Jamaican? Yeah. Irie? Yeah. Yeah, Irie. They don't even know what Irie mean. Yeah, man. They don't know what yeah, man mean. So you have to, the worst thing about it, the worst thing about it, they are the one who curse the most bad words and don't know what it means. I give you a
Uh,
joke. I have friends, yeah. I have friends who Jamaicans. This guy, man, he curse no tomorrow. Everything he curse. So this, I remember this guy came around him, and he was there working with this team of guys. So every time he tell something they don't remember, so he curse, man. So they said to him, say, "Brother, why you always a curse? Why you say those things?" So he said, "When I'm happy, I say these words." So he said, "What?" So he said, "What?" I said, "Yes, man. When I use these words, because remember, um,
they do understand.
on the ship, on the ship is rules, just like in the army, Ship is like army, brother.
Oh.
Yeah, you have rules and real rules, real penalty for the rules if you break it. Yeah. So he couldn't tell them his bad words. He tell them, "Hey, I'm happy, man. So when I'm happy, I use these words." So he constantly using the words. So the guy catch the words now. So when the guy catch the words and get the words registered now, we have a senior chef in the office. So he called the guy for appraisal. The guy did something, and outstanding, and he called the guy in the office and called some of us as supervisors, and I'm giving the guy, and the guy cursed two of the words, man. And the man, he knows what the word mean. And he said, "What you said?" And he said, "Yes, chef, happy. I'm happy, chef."
If you happy.
So he just said, "Okay, it must be Mr. Brown teach you these words, because these are Mr. Brown Bible lesson that he read." So they said, "Yes, man, it's Mr. Brown." He said, "All right." So he called Mr. Brown after the message, after
Appraisal.
he finished what he's doing. I said, "Birdie, listen to me. Why are you doing these things?" This is chef. If I tell him that it's bad word, it's a problem for me, no. So better I tell him it's happy words. So I tell you, everybody in every different country, man, they want to learn one word from Jamaica. So we don't need, well, some cases you have to do different languages, or you have to speak the right way. But 99% of the time, man, they don't want your no standard English. They want to hear the real Jamaican language, man. So the worse, the more you speak, uh, because did you know that we have 14 parish in Jamaica, and the 14 parish speak different? Did you
Definitely.
know that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Different
Yeah.
yeah,
different
man.
level
They
of
call
patois.
some words a different way, and draw some words and all this. So that is a problem. So they, oh, he come from Jamaica and he talk like that. Oh, yes. So that's always a fun for them. So we say, hey, just like your country, we speak different language, no? That's how it goes. So that's what we use as a fun. So that's how we go, man.
Definitely. All right, Sir Larry, over to you.
Yes, sir. Timmy. Yeah, man. Um, talk to us about the transition from being a vet per se. So you went into the vet for an ulterior reason, but how did you get to be a chef and not even into this cruise thing? What was it like?
Oh,
That?
for that now. Um, when this mad cow disease come in, majority of the farm was closed. So I used to be farm management manager. So what happened? I have to be laying off people, and at the same time, I get laid off because there was no milk going out. There is no the boss.
That's
The
funny.
boss used me, and then listen, Mr. Grant, we have to cut staff, So you have to start cut some of these members that are working. Some of these. I said, okay, boss. But boss, who's supposed to? Who's supposed to? The boss said, okay, so and so and so. And then I said, okay. I type up letter and let them know that so and so and whatever. But at the same time, my knife was sharpening, and I didn't realize that my knife was getting sharp. And the boss look and tell me, like, Mr. Grant, well, you know what's going to how the farm is going now. You have to close the dairy, and we're gonna lay you off. I say, okay. And in that field now, it don't make sense I go and look on it farm management work, because it's a mad cow disease and all these things. So
Yeah.
I was out of a job. So there and then I
Mm.
have to go back to school and do this food, because that was my love. But because I said before, that was my first priority choice. But I said before, the reason why I go in animal is because of to get in my wife, to get closer to my wife. So going, well, I used to work in Hilton Hotel. I remember when I was there, I used to manage the fine dining restaurant. His name was Palm Court at the time. But as there, I used to work there. I used to work so many places. But when I was there, I remember this night, um, this guy from Pulse, he came there with some guys, and one of them asks for meal, and I prepare it, and they ask for steak, and I prepare it, and they enjoy it. And then after he been coming there more than once, and then he said to me, he tell the waiter to call me, and I tell the waiter I was busy, so he come at the table and said to me, say, "Chef, can I talk to you?" I said, "Yes, man. What's up?" He said, "Do you want a job?" I said, "Do I want a job? What do you mean, brother? I'm not working. What do you mean if I want a job?" But because I know these, because at this fine dine restaurant there are plenty diplomat they come there, and they always try to hack big shot, as we call it. So they would offer you, "Hey, I am giving you a better job. You need to go to a better place to work on all these things." So my antenna was up for them at all times. So yeah, you don't want a job? You don't want a good job? I say, "Hey, Virgin, I am in a good job." He leave a number to call for me to call him. I don't call it. And then after he came back, "Why you didn't call me?" I say, "I don't need to call your boss because I'm working." I say, "No, you need to call me." Then he keep bothering me, and I answer. I call, and he tell me, "I like what you are doing. You want to have an overseas experience?" I tell him yes, and then from there, you know, it is. So he tell me where to go and all these things, and I go and I did the interview, did everything, and then because of my qualification, they choose me over some other. So when I went there, I went to do the interview like for example today, and like Friday, they call me back and tell me, "Do you have enough money to buy your visa?" I say, "Enough money to buy a visa for what?" They say, "Yeah, you're selected and I need to leave the country by Sunday." So it's like that. So it was just like that, just like God just work it out so fast, and so without no struggle or a problem. So that's where I started and get in this cruise line, and from there and from there and from there. You know.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah, man. It's great. Yeah, man, it's great to know that transition, because you spoke about sometimes people say, boy, you can get a bigger thing that's about.
yes, stay
As you say, from the
focused.
Lord was leading you from a young, tender age, he would have led you in the right path to bring in even a better income and so on, so the family could be supported, yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man of God. Yeah. All right. So, Sir Timmy, we are like at 5 minutes past the hour of 10. I just want to give it like a few minutes, just to 5 minutes or so. Just share a word of encouragement to the viewers. As you said something very profound, that in your previous job you were asked to lay off people, which eventually contributed to you being laid off. And we can see the things happening what COVID did. A lot of persons are being laid off. A lot of jobs are cutting staff, and the stress is there, and the struggles are real, right? There are some families who are surviving on minimum wages and all these things, and they're just the struggles are there. Um, let's give you a few minutes just to share a word of encouragement, and at the end of sharing that word, just pray for the viewers, and just leave an encouragement in general. And after that, Larry will take back and close up and sugar.
Okay. It's a reality. It's a reality in where the crisis is. The world is now, where every person now is confused because of what is going on. All leaders, yeah, all leaders are president, prime minister, uh, are what I would say, they are confused in the choice to make forward. But I'm here to tell somebody that making a choice, you have to ask God to lead. And remember that the choices that you are making, it's not gonna affect you only. It's gonna affect the entire nationality, the entire village, the entire world, to put it like that. But if you are have a listening ears to what God is saying and ask God to lead you in the right way, I certainly sure that He will show you a part that you will be successful in whatever your choices. So many of us are laid off because of this um, virus that is going on. But just keep it is the stress. It is so stressful because what happened? School is gonna open in September, and you know you have how many kids and all these things. Bills is piling up. But as I said, you have to put God in your everyday activity. Ask Him to choose a plan for you, and try to work with a plan wherein which if you need to self-employed in this time, you have to go by that because what happened, your bills have to paid, yeah, and your needs have to met, yeah. To sit and say God gonna help you, it's not only that, but you have to um try to fishing for yourself, you know, him lead you in the right way of success. uh Encouragement to the parents is, remember, as a father, yeah, as a mother, you are a role model in the sight of the kids, in the sight of your children. So that means whatever you do, whatever you say, is a great impact in their life. Saying this to say that uh, there is no way you can correct your child or your children and doing the wrong. And for you to maintain good leadership, you have to know God. Because only, I repeat, only God is the person who is going to teach you, groom you in the right way, how to be an outstanding leader. Yeah, because if you cannot lead your family, your children, don't 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 be surprised. Your children gonna lead you. Yeah. Yes, your children gonna lead you. And that's the bad part of it. When your child is leading you, that's the time you're gonna say to somebody, I have a child here, see, in bad, and I can't manage him. How can you be a child parent and can't manage your child? How can that be? Reason for this, as I said on this media before, we need to grow the child in a way of respect and discipline, wherein which you alone can talk to this child to correct him. You are her. You have to teach that child that discipline is the way of success. Correction is the way of success. Yeah. So when that child getting correction, is not because the person hate them, but it's because the person see uh, potential in that person and would like that person to become an outstanding person. And parents, when correcting your child, please stop using words of description wherein which this child gonna feel small than they are. You're calling them all different names and all different words that you are using. How can you correct your child and be calling them all different type of names like this? If you if you if you if you should listen to what you are saying to your child, if you are listening to what you are saying to your child, it would be bad to your ears. Is only God can allow us to be a good, outstanding person. Only God. So listen this now. Way of doing this. I show you, I teach you my way. Have a time for prayer and a time that you have your children and sit and talk with them. Listen to what they are going through, what is hurting them, and have positive thing to say to your children. Always instead positive opinion, positive words to your children. And when you see I grew up in my parents sending me to Sunday school, and that mean part of my life because that's where these Sunday school teachers grew me into knowing the word of God. It is no, it is no, it is not right for you to leave your child home and then you as an adult go to church. No, send the children to Sunday school that they can grow in the way in which God wants them to grow and help them to withstand and to stand and as an example in the day that they are living now and in the world to come. I encourage all of us just to hold on. It isn't easy as a parent to know that this time that we are going through, bills are climbing up and all these things are happening. But just have the faith that God is gonna work out something. Just have the faith that some way, somehow, there is a job out there waiting. You know, some of us have to go self-employed, as I said before. But in whatever we are doing, put God first, and we will see the success. Don't 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 worry yourself in things that you cannot manage. Yeah, let God fix that part. Things that you cannot manage, it don't make sense. Try to fix it, because God will fix it for us. Yeah, He will take care of us. He will provide for you, mothers. He will provide for you, fathers. You may not know when, I may not know how, but He will. He will. And some of these times that we are going through, it's so hard, and there's less word to tell you how to go through it. But all I have to say is that um, knowing God and knowing what God can do, I know that He will do it for you. He will provide for you. He will make a way for you. So let us be courage and to be encouraged today to keep courage and to keep our head up amidst what is going on. God will make a way for us. Can we go for prayer? We'll ask God, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You are the King of all kings and the Lord of all. You are above all gods. So we come giving you thanks for this day. You woke us up this morning and you allow us to be clothed in our right mind. Amidst all that could have happened and didn't happen. Amidst all the sicknesses, the accidents, the bacteria and the virus that we could have infested with. We could have died, but we are alive and well because of you. We thank you. We adore you. We worship your name. We glorify you. We honor you. Now, Lord, as I come this moment, I ask you right now that you will visit all of the viewers, the listeners right now, wherever they are living, whatever they are going through, whatever their problem is. Let them remember that you are God and you are a deliverer, you are a healer, you are a waymaker. I want you right now, God, to make a way for some family, our families that don't see the way out. They don't know how their bills gonna play. But because I trust you, I know who you are, and I know what you can do. I ask you right now, God, that you will visit them in their situation, and you will release a blessing over their life. God, let their friends be a friend that can motivate them, that can instill blessing and prosperity in their life. A friend that, oh God, can allow them to be successful. Because there are so many times we associate ourselves with friends that are negative, that cannot help us. But we want you right now to change the atmosphere and let us, oh God, be what you want us to be. Father God, touch these families. So many families are broke. So many family right now are in distress. So many family homes, oh God, are in a mess. But in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, I ask you right now that you will come to a home that is a mother or a father that is undergoing stress, that is undergoing pain, that is undergoing some form of problem. I know you can, and I know you will, and I know you are the deliverer. God, at this moment, for us that are here, oh God, we ask for strength. We ask for you to stand by us, to come by here and to be a shelter even as we go into our bed a few moments, a few hours from now. We ask that you dispatch your guiding angel and dispatch them and cover our homes, our living quarters, build a fence around us, oh God, from all the plans of the devil, forces of the devil. Oh, many times the devil plans for our life, but because of who you are, the plans have been defeated, the plans have been delayed, the plans have been mashed up. So again, I ask you to disturb the enemy right now and mash up some of his plans and all of his plans that he have for us. God, you see this mother that is crying right now because of reasons. Oh God, I ask you right now, God, that you will be a comfort to her, you be a comfort to the child or the children, Father God, and you provide for them. There are so many of them don't know how bills gonna pay. Oh God, some are the single mothers, single fathers. Oh God, some, oh God, are confused. But with you, God, in as our King, I know you can do it again. Deliver somebody tonight. God, work your purpose out in somebody's life. Save somebody, oh God. And let this encouragement, this interview that I'm doing, oh God, let somebody get a word from what I said and that their life can be different. Father God, we look to you. We give you praise. We give you honor. We give you glory. We adore you. We exalt you because there is none above you, beneath you, are like you. You are outstanding. You are the King of all kings. You are the warrior of all warriors. So we thank you for hearing and answering our prayer. Right now, we thank you for your deliverance. We thank you for your comforting words and your comfortness towards your people. We thank you just about for everything. We look to you. We give you praise. We give you honor. We give you glory. As I say thanks. And I say thanks because by faith I believe that our prayers are heard, and not only heard, you only just hear a prayer, you are answering my prayer this moment, oh God. And somebody has been relief, somebody has been, oh God, as mind and thought has been changed from what they were thinking. God, remove negativity from the minds of your people. There are so many of us that the devil put negative, so many parents, the devil put negative in their minds. Move it. And where negative is, put positiveness, positive thought, positive action, positive way of behave themselves, how to groom their children. Yes, God, we ask for thee right now to do it again and let somebody, oh God, be revived. I look to you, I give you thanks, I give you praise. In your only precious name, amen. And thank you, Lord. And thank you.
Great. I'm going to use some terms now that they're not on the script or on his title. They're not on his birth paper. They are nowhere on the paper written, but I'm going to use them. Reverend Dr. Timothy.
Jesus. Sugar, help me, please. Help me, Sugar. Sugar, help me, no, man.
No, remember I told you yesterday, no? All of yesterday, the thought was going through my head, no? So I I just added doctor to the bishop, and so even though that you just pray the prayer just don't know, and the prayer you pray is a part of what I'm saying now. So God don't
Sugar, you
only
can't help me.
I can't help you when it's by my side. So yeah, man, you spoke of some real parenting. Some of them I would have heard them before. They really reiterate. The one that you keep on repeating is having a listening ear, and that's very important. Not only as a parent, but as an adult or as a person in general, to listen. Not many person listen. One person like to talk and yap. But when you can listen, you're able to impart good advice, good suggestions to the person. So you spoke of being a good role model, one has to model the behavior that you want to see in a child or to another person. And one of the measures, one of the key to success is correction. That you spoke of. Correction is the way to success. And once one can, as the Bible said, the whom the Lord loves, he gives correction. And if we can be corrected, if we can learn to appreciate the correction, then of course we are on our way forward. It's a word that is also used these days. It's not like it's a bad word I just spoke on. The word positive. As if Dave, if it's a man and think about positive nowadays, it's all more like it's a negative word, but you said it must instill positive values. All right, so great, Reverend Timmy. So we have had you tonight on this program, no? We chat a whole lot of things. We could have gone into a lot more things, but time won't allow us. So blessings to you and the family,
Thank you,
man.
man. Blessing, my
Yeah,
brother. Blessings, prophet.
blessings. Over to you, Papa Sugar.
Yes, man. Well, as I said, you spoke a lot tonight, and what I realized that when it comes on to family, you have some strong values, and especially when it comes to discipline. But in a nutshell, it's said that children normally live what they learn. And learn from that's where it starts from the home. And if you instill positive value in them, then they will display it. So tonight, Timmy Grant, we just wanna thanks for taking time out to be tonight to experience and just to pray for you to let you grow from strength to strength. And what you're doing and to our viewers, we know that it is rough. As the writer said, the road is going, is hill is hard to climb. As long as Christ is in the vision, smile at the storm. You may be crying now. As I said, your best is still ahead. And as Nelson Mandela would say, choices reflect your hope and not your fear. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Until tomorrow, Friday, I'm home.
All right, viewers, there you have it. We have come to another end of Mek Wi Chat, and we had our guest, Evangelist Timmy Grant, and he is from the Pilgrim Church of God, and that's in Williamsfield in St. Catherine. Thank you, sir, for being with us. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us, even though we went over time. But I want to say thanks to the viewers who stayed online through this. We apologize for the late start. As you can hear, Sugar having some challenges with the internet, and we had some technical difficulties in connecting, but to God be the glory, we have navigated and we pulled through, and we want to say thank you for being patient with us. We thank you. So to all the viewers, I can't go through the list right now, but to all of you, both on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. And before we go out, I don't know if Timmy, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Well, shout out. But before I shout out, I say this to all parents. You cannot tell your child to be what you are not. That's it. As a parent, you cannot tell your child to be what you are not. I give shout out to all my family members, which is Alda Shane, Vashane, Valerie, yes, and all my other friends that are watching. And I thank you guys to having me here to get encouraging words and my experience. And I hope that my few words of encouragement may reach a home and not really reach a home. It may change a home, because that is the whole aspect of what we are doing here, not only for listeners and for viewers, but for life changing, to let you know that things can do another way from how you are doing it. You can think another way from how you are thinking. You can act another way from how you are acting. You can talk another way from how you are talking. Have a good night.
All right, so there you have it, viewers, and thank you for tuning in to Mek Wi Chat. On behalf of my co-hosts Larry and Sugar, and of course Sister Johnson and Sister Mills, who are always on the working behind the scenes to make our production going, and to Tovia Brown, our faithful social media expert who keeps navigating through social media. Want to say thank you, and as usual, we go out with the song Is Everything.
If Christ isn't in the midst of it, can't you see? world would be alright. The hatred, the killings, taking another man's life. Don't you see the reason for all these things? It's the unforgiving spirit and the word called sin. Where would we be if Christ isn't in the midst of it? Can't you see that He has cleansed us of our sins? He is the redeemed. Just ask Him to forgive. He's everything, everything. The King of Kings, King of Kings. Struggling to feed yourself and your family, paying the bills on an empty tummy. Now you feel like all your hope is gone and your back's against the wall. So just get down on your knees and pray to the Lord. Patience is the key, most people not understand. Take one day at a time, cause me know God have a plan. Nobody stress yourself out with no crying and worrying. Just put your trust in all the pan and He take care of everything. Jehovah Jireh, Him a the provider. Jehovah Rapha, Him a the healer. Jehovah Nissi, Him a the protector. He's everything you need. Where would we be if Christ isn't in the midst of it? Can't you see that He has cleansed us of our sins? He is the redeemed. Just ask Him to forgive. He's everything, everything. The King of Kings, King of Kings. Where would we be if Christ isn't in the midst of it? Can't you see that He has cleansed us of our sins? He is the redeemed.